still recording the
Hello and welcome to the Happy People podcast. What was it called? The Many Things podcast.
So she's saying you're on this podcast and you don't know the name of it.
Sorry, I had a brain fart. Sorry, yeah, that was rude. I'm sorry.
That doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, I'm joking. But yeah. So what happened with the crocodile in, where were you? Indonesia?
Are we rolling? Yeah, I don't know. So, I was in Mexico for the second half of the pandemic.
What did I say? Indonesia?
Yeah.
Close.
I was there for the first half. But,
Alright.
I was in Mexico.
Traveller boy.
What was I doing?
Crocodiles.
Oh, can I start that again? Sorry.
No, I'm not. Just talk. What happened with the crocodiles? What happened with the crocodiles? I'm not cutting this.
Right. Welcome to the Many Things podcast. Then we can do a proper
Just talk
intro
about
as
the
well.
crocodiles. It's fine. Just talk about the crocodile. Trust me, I'm not cutting and editing all the time. It's too long.
Right, so the crocodiles. I was in Mexico and I was in an island called Holbox. And part of the island is mangroves and there's crocodiles there. So I went on a little fishing trip. Didn't catch any crocodiles, caught a couple of pufferfish though.
Aren't they poisonous?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to eat them. No.
Because don't the I don't know if it's the sushi chefs, but certain chefs, they know how to cook them, and when you cook them, you have to cook them a really specific way because of the poison.
To get
in
rid of
them.
the toxins.
Did you cook yours?
No, I released it.
Would you trust
Catch
yourself
and
to
release.
cook and eat?
No, absolutely not.
Catch and release.
Yeah, if I'd caught something edible, I would have eaten it. But I don't have the knowledge or expertise to.
If you touched it, would it have spiked you and poisoned you?
No, I handled the second one I caught.
So it's only when you eat them they're poisonous.
I think so. Yeah.
Really? Do you think that's some like evolution? Animals, when they get eaten, to be poisonous, because you get, the poisonous frogs, the really bright colours.
Because it doesn't really help the animal that's just got eaten, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But yeah, so it must work in a different sense that predators learn to avoid those fish. Now, how would a predator learn? Because the predator would eat it and die.
Oh.
And would other predators see that and know the cause? Not necessarily. So perhaps it's more of an abstract kind of instinctual collective consciousness kind of knowledge acquired.
Or is it the kind of natural selection in the way how, I'm trying to work it out, whether if enough of them died from that fish, yeah, I know what you mean, how would they know not to eat that fish? But it's just like I don't know actually. Because you get those poisonous frogs in the Amazon, and like a dart on them can kill. Well, if you the tribe people take like they
collect the secretions,
the secretions, put it on the arrow, and then after that it's like a poisonous arrow. So when they hunt, so if they're hunting like boar or things like this, that's what they can do.
They put it in blow darts a lot as well. Yeah.
Imagine that, you're out hiking.
Pretty insane, yeah.
See a dude with a blow dart just aiming at you.
Yeah.
It's weird how those animals are so poisonous though. I think we're lucky we don't get many poisonous animals in this country. Certain countries, you can't just run in the long grass because there could be snakes. You don't want the risk of just a poisonous snake or something, do you?
I guess, yeah. But I guess when you whatever environment you grow up in, you learn to assess the risks around you. So perhaps for us it would seem dangerous to go to Australia and run long grass, but maybe they're more in tune to what am I talking about?
No, it's true. It's alright, man, just a snake. Just gotta watch it. But no, it is true for sure. You learn like your environment. That's like what you were saying earlier about how you're a kid and it forms your character so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because when you get those crazy psychopathic killers, it's often like the family history when you watch those documentaries, they got abused like really severely as kids.
Yeah, often stems from a traumatic event in their early years.
It must seriously mess with the brain's chemistry and the balance of the brain. Do you not think that doesn't get talked about that much in this country, does it?
What, how psychopaths are formed?
Yeah. I don't know. I was actually going more down the balance of the brain thing. Have you watched any of those psychopath things?
No, I watched a few episodes of, what was it, Mindhunters?
Mindhunters is really good. I rate that. But, I don't know. How many psychopaths do you think are currently active, the police are currently looking for in the UK? Because if 7 women have been murdered or something, and at what point does that get released to the press of what the police are working on, and they think all of these crimes are connected, but is it come open yet? You know.
Well, about 1% of the general population is a psychopath, apparently.
Oh really? 1%. That's a lot.
Yeah, and about 25% of male offenders in prisons.
25% do those psychiatric tests. But where are they doing those psychiatric tests? Because if you're doing a psychiatric test in prison, and you're in prison, you might be quite angry. You might not want to, you know what I mean? Because they're not doing it on everybody. Have you ever done one, like a psychometric test or anything?
No, I haven't.
Have you? So you could
I could be a psychopath.
So I could be sat with a psychopath. What? So if it's 1%, there's only a small number of them that are actually doing these things, these terrible things.
Should we do a psychopath test right now? Do you reckon we can find one online?
I don't know if that's going to look good on a podcast.
Imagine if it comes back positive.
I was just thinking the length of time it will take you to fill it in.
Yeah, true. Probably not that entertaining.
Yeah. If we should have done them before.
Yeah.
And then got the results. I think. It was like, what do you talk about?
I don't mind.
Talk about travelling. You must have seen some stuff travelling.
Yeah, saw some things. Well, I don't know. Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know. How many years of your life do you think you've been living in another country?
Most. Yeah, like.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Spain. Grew up in Spain in Valencia.
Alright, I'll say it one more time. Just keep it a little closer. Look, see how I've got mine? Yeah. Like this. Sorry.
That's alright.
Sorry to do that to you, but
no, it's cool.
You grew up in Spain?
I grew up in Spain, yeah. In Valencia, or near Valencia.
Habla español?
Claro, señor. Sí.
You speak Spanish? Nah. Yeah. Fluent?
Yeah.
How long
I was there for 11 years. So
11 years? Yeah, you were really there.
Yeah.
And you grew up, what was that like?
Yeah, it was a sunny childhood. It was quite an outdoorsy childhood. It was nice.
Were you in the city or like in the outskirts or something?
No, I was about 20 minutes out of the city. Cradled in the mountains.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a nice little spot.
Valencia gets hot.
It does. We had some days, I think there was one day, it got to like 48 degrees or something one summer day.
Celsius?
Yeah. It was crazy.
For any Americans listening, that's about 8,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Yeah.
How, like, you're quite an outdoorsy person. So what sort of stuff were you doing outdoors when you were in Valencia? When you were younger? You said it was quite an outdoorsy upbringing.
Yeah. Well, we got up the mountain a lot, like mountaineering, cliff climbing up. I was big into rugby. I actually played rugby for Spain a couple times.
Is that true?
Yeah.
For Spain?
Yeah.
When?
Yeah. When I was like 17.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What position were you?
Inside centre. Number 12.
What teams are you playing against? Presumably not like New Zealand or anyone like that.
No, we played against Portugal. We played against Portugal a couple times, and we were in a tournament with Portugal, Holland, and Belgium. We beat Holland but lost to Portugal. I scored a try in that one against Portugal. So we still lost though.
So you've scored an international rugby try?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's impressive.
But man, the thing is, Spain has just qualified for the World Cup.
No way.
So if I'd stayed in Spain and stuck with it,
maybe.
You know, maybe I would be playing in a World Cup. At the time, you know, Spain wasn't that good. Yeah, but and Spain are in this group with South Africa, Who else? Scotland, and a couple others. And like these are my old teammates that are going to be playing against South Africa, against Scotland,
Really?
against these international games. Yeah,
Do you
it's going to
think
be sick.
some of those guys are still in the team now?
Yeah. One of them, Alvaro Jimeno, he's the current number 12 for Spain. We played in the same club together actually. His dad was trained us for a bit. Yeah.
Try keep it as you move with it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's right.
That's cool. That's crazy. You played rugby for Spain. That's pretty interesting. What about the outdoorsy stuff? Do you ever do any hunting or anything?
What about you? Where did you grow up?
Kettering?
Nice.
Not quite as impressive.
What did you
I
get
was
up
there
to?
for like 5 years, and then we were living in the southwest of England, which is like countryside. So we just used to go out, like the moors, the Somerset levels.
Yeah.
I'll put a picture up, but you picture what it's like. Let me try and find something. So we just grew up on the
way.
yeah. So you know, what the levels are like.
Yeah.
We used to grow up there, but there was Burrow Hill, and have you been to Burrow Hill?
Burrow Hill, no.
It's like a cider farm. It's like Glastonbury Tour, but a lot worse version, kind of thing. But basically up there, and what the policy, the rules with the local council and things was when the rainwater got to when there was a huge period of rainfall, like a storm or something, and the towns or villages became at risk of flooding. They used to open the floodgates. The farmers would open the floodgates on all the levels, so it meant the levels would flood every winter, and so sometimes you would have like a 2 mile by 1 mile lake just form over all the levels, but it cut off loads of the local roads as well.
Oh wow.
And we used to go out on the kayaks on it sometimes.
Sick.
Which was pretty nice and chilled. But yeah, we'd
Nice.
make national. Do you remember when they were like Muchelny, when it made the national news? Muchelny, yeah. It made national news because of all the flooding, and that was like right next to where I lived. They kept pronouncing it Muchelny. Everyone knew it was the wrong name, so we were like, what is this?
Muchelny.
Yeah, I was quite outdoorsy, but it's just cows. Fields with cows in them, and fields with no cows in them, and that's about it. But it was a nice place to grow up. Just walking the dogs and that. I used to have this dog, Springer Spaniels.
Yeah.
You obviously know they're on farms and things.
Yeah.
You know how savvy they are. They're just born to be in the wild. They used to be loads of them were gun dogs.
Yeah.
We used to have one like this, and my old childhood friend, he was in like the hunting scene, so they used this exact same dogs as, I can't remember what they're called, but the retriever dogs, they're gun dogs. I think they're called gun dogs, and they'd run. So when they shoot a bird down, those kind of dogs would run and take the birds, but they'd also run along the hedges to flush the birds out. And I used to walk with him and his dogs, and he was always telling me how my dog would have made a perfect one of those.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, sometimes you'd be walking with him, and he'd run out of a hedge with like a pheasant in his mouth or a rabbit. He was just a killer. Like it was a bit savage, but it was kind of cool, kind of impressive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I had him. We used to walk around there. But how smart is that collie on the farm? I presume do they have a sheepdog?
They do.
Are they not just the most intelligent dogs?
Yeah, collies are really sweet as well, really affectionate. I like them. I love a mix between a Springer Spaniel and a collie, a Sprolly.
A Sprolly?
Yeah. That's a great dog.
I didn't even know they mixed them like that.
Yeah.
That's quite cool. Does he herd sheep, the one on your farm?
She's not really trained, but yeah, she's got it in her blood a little bit. Like she'll try help rounding them up, even though she hasn't really been trained.
That's interesting. A dog we used to have, he used to run the hedges, and he'd never been trained to do that. So when I was looking at him, thinking he's never been trained to do that, but this type of dog has been bred and trained to do that. His ancestors and stuff for like at least 100 years. So I'm thinking, how much of that is just in him? He knows, it's kind of instinct.
Yeah.
Whether it's in like some of the memory, I don't know. Could be.
A bit like we were saying earlier about that instinctual, perhaps knowing what to avoid eating pufferfish. Was that on this podcast or one of the ones we stopped recording?
No, I'm not sure. I
Yeah,
think it was. Doesn't matter. But anyway, continue.
There's been a few failed attempts, ladies and gentlemen. What were we saying?
I can't remember. Wait, let's think of something else to talk about. Oh, we were just talking about the dogs, the farm dogs. We were talking about my dog and the farm dogs is what we were talking about. Turns out I can remember. So how's the sheeping going on the farm?
Yeah, good. Yeah. I gave birth to my first sheep, or I didn't give birth to it, but I assisted in the birth giving to a sheep.
Been doing things with sheep.
Yeah. Yeah, pulled up. Yeah.
You got to grab the legs first, right?
Yeah, they come out, usually they come out paws front hooves first, head first. Sometimes a front leg will get stuck somewhere or a back leg will
That's when you
kind
your
of
hand.
kind of assist them and twist them out, get them in the right position and pull them out. But usually they'll come out quite easily if they come out front hooves first.
That's nice. Have you seen any that have died on you?
We had a ewe die the other day.
That's sad. Or was that a fully grown one?
Yeah, she was pregnant.
Oh no.
And just the lambs were taking everything out of her, and yeah, she just got ill and passed away.
So do you shear the sheep as well or not?
Nah, someone else does that.
Well, that's not funny.
I don't know.
I was just talking about sheep. I like sheep. I was watching the Clarkson's farm, and what they did with the sheep is, how did they work it out? Was it one of the sheep's mothers died, or something happened, and the sheep didn't have a mother? Or no, the mother rejected it. The mother rejected the lamb.
So did they adopt it onto another?
Yeah, they adopted it onto another. And what they did is, they got the lamb's, like, baby fluid. No, the sheep's baby fluid. When she gave birth, that kind of fluid, just rubbed them around in it loads, and then gave it to the sheep, and after it gave birth to the other ones or something, and then accepted it.
So it smells like its own one and it accepts it, yeah.
Can't be that bright though.
Man, they are, yeah. They're not the smartest animals, but they're smarter than people think. They can recognise individual people. They can tell different people apart.
Oh really?
They know like who the person is that feeds them and looks after them. Wow. They can tell different fields apart. They know different fields that they get moved between. They will choose. Stop.
I'm not going to be able to eat lamb anymore if you tell me more.
One more thing that's quite interesting is if they've got a choice to join a piece of grass with a flock that they recognise on, or a piece of grass with a flock they don't recognise on, they'll always go towards the one that they recognise.
Wow.
Yeah. What else? No. Yeah, they're smarter than you think, but they're also remarkably dumb.
In other ways. In other ways.
Yeah.
Sex, eat grass. What else?
I don't know. Yeah.
What about the cows? The cows can't be very smart. Are the sheep smarter than cows?
No, the cows are smarter.
The cows are smarter than sheep.
Yeah.
So when cows, when you're walking in a field and you're like, that cow's looking at me, but that cow is actually looking at you and it working out.
I mean, I didn't say they were very smart. I just said they're a little bit smarter
the
than
sheep. They can recognise people. So cows must be able to recognise people.
Well, apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently...
a farming myth.
Apparently, a cow knows if you're laughing at it. If you laugh at a cow, it'll know and it'll feel shame.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Apparently.
No way. Keep talking.
It's true. Yeah. Bring that up, son.
Can cows know if you're laughing at them? Oh my word.
What did it come up with?
Oh no. That's not. Oh, this is no. I can't find it. I don't think it's true. I can't find anything, but I don't think it's true. Do cows kill people though, don't they?
They kill people. Yeah. Heart disease.
No, not eating them. I mean, like they run them over. How common is it for walkers to be killed by cows? get some stats. A deputy head teacher killed by cows this week was the second dog walker to die after being fatally injured in Yorkshire this year. It's not that common. Okay, so between 2016 and 2020, 22 people have been killed by cows.
That's not many.
No, it's
Probably
not.
a lot more killed by
I
eating cows.
think I've read this wrong. 65 non-fatal incidents involving cats. Oh, that's non-fatal, don't worry. Yeah, that's not many at all, is it? Yeah, think of all the heart disease from people eating cows.
Mm. Yeah.
So it's actually safer to walk through fields with them than to eat them. Is that right?
Apparently so, yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever been chased by
Do you want a
cows?
sausage roll with hummus?
Yeah, go on. Have you ever been chased by cows?
Not really.
No.
No.
Once we did one time. We were younger, probably like 19, 20. I was walking just with.
Right, can we pause the podcast for a sec?
Oh really?
Yeah, just
I
pause
hate
it.
editing.
Yeah, no, just pause it.
I hate editing.
Or just let it run and then we'll chop this bit out.
Yeah, no, I've paused this. It's the video. Wave in the video. I'm
Okay,
gonna edit that.
cut this out.
Alright,
No,
yeah,
you should
quick.
actually leave all this in.
Quick, yeah, why?
It's the best part of the podcast.
Fuck off.
No, sorry, I
No,
don't
I'm
think
joking,
about that.
I'm joking.
No, it adds character to it, you know.
In the episode I'm going to release soon, I told him to keep talking. I'm going out to get my hat, and I just left him to get
No, I was thinking I'm gonna get another beer. Do you want another drink?
Yeah, I might have some of this shit though.